Hello, hi. Good morning, one and all. This is Rajkumar, PGT in Biology, working in TSRS JC Lingampalli. We all know that due to this COVID-19 pandemic, every sector is facing one or the other problems. Even schools and colleges are locked down since very long time. Especially students, you have missed many classes. So I thought I could make some zoology online classes for you so that I can reach you through your mobiles. So here I am with the PPT presentation. For a better understanding, I inserted some pictures and some concept related drawings as well. So I want you to take a book and pen with you while you're watching this video session. Without taking much of your time, let us start this class. Dear students, almost 70% of the syllabus of second year zoology is about human anatomy. In that we are going to learn about the organ systems present in the human body. So in this class we are going to learn about the first unit, which is about digestion and absorption. Let us get into some basics we have learnt in the first year. Here is a cell, structural and functional unit of life. In the ultrastructure of the cell, we find cell organelles like ribosomes, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, all of these. And organelles are made up of biomolecules like proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And molecules are basically again made of atoms. Group of cells carry out similar function are known as a tissue, and tissues make up an organ. Organ means nothing but a part of the body, may be internal or external. These organs grouped together coordinate and carry out particular function are known as organ systems. Organ systems altogether make an organism or an animal. Let us see here atoms. They make up a molecule. Molecules make a macromolecule, biomolecules, and they make cells make tissues, tissues make organ systems make up an organism, and similar organisms group put together and share a common habitat are known as a population. Different population live in a community, and ecosystems are made of different communities, and different ecosystems all together make a biosphere. This is a organization of life. Let us go further. Let's see different organ systems that are existing in the body. Digestive system for the process of digestion, and circulatory system to transport different food molecules and oxygen to all parts of the body. Endocrine system for the control and coordination. Excretory system for removing nitrogenous waste that is present in the body. Reproductive system to produce new offsprings. Respiratory system, it is basically for providing us energy, releasing of energy. Musculoskeletal system to provide strength to the body. Nervous system, it is again control and coordination. And next, immune system to fight against the diseases and many microorganisms. Let us see further. Digestion is one of the life processes without which the life is not possible. Every time when we are going to learn about the life process, we learn two aspects. First is the organ system which is involved, and second is about the process. In this digestive system, we learn about the organs and the glands which are involved in the system, their anatomy and function. In the process, we learn how the enzymes act upon complex food substances and they convert them into simple soluble substances so that they can be absorbed by the small intestine. Digestion is two types: intracellular digestion and intercellular digestion. Both kind of digestion take place in the human body, and intracellular digestion is a chief method of digestion in the unicellular organisms like Paramecium, Euglena, amoeba, and different microorganisms as well. Let us go further. Human digestive system. Here we find a long tubular part called gastrointestinal tract, which starts from the mouth and ends with anus, and to which all these organs are gets attached. We see the mouth here, and in the buccal cavity, this is the buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity we study about palate, teeth and tongue. And here is a pharynx, here is an esophagus, here is a stomach, the small intestine and the large intestine, rectum here behind, and anus is the last part of the body. We will learn about each of the organ in further. We will also study about the digestive glands that are existing in the digestive system. They will secrete the enzymes, and enzymes act on the complex molecules to convert them into simple soluble substances. I will locate these glands. Let's see. Salivary glands here, gastric glands present in the stomach, liver, here is a liver which is the largest internal organ, pancreas is here, leaf-like structure, and there are intestinal glands as well which are present in the small intestine. Mouth is an opening between two lips, and behind the mouth we find buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity we see palate, tongue and teeth. And the palate ante entante, it is the roof of the buccal cavity. Palate is again of two types, hard palate and soft palate. And at the anterior portion we find this hard palate, and posteriorly ante koncham venuka bhagam we see the soft palate. Both the palate are divided by the palatine rugae. Okay. And next there is an ovula just behind the palate. Ovula is important because it does not allow the food to get into the nasal cavity. It is different from the epiglottis. It's not epiglottis. See here the hard palate which is at the anterior portion, and behind this we find the soft palate. So this is the roof, this is the palate, and this is the mouth. Let's see further. Teeth. Why do we actually need the teeth? Teeth are important to cut the food, tear it and grind it and masticate it properly so that it can enter into the tubular esophagus. Let us see the basics about the teeth. It is ectomesodermal in origin. In the embryonic stage there are three derms, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Through them all the organs in the body are formed. So basically they are made of ectomesoderms. And in the mammals we find thecodont dentition, which means teeth are located in the sockets. So jaws will have the sockets, and in them the teeth are embedded. We find strong teeth in the mammals. Next, teeth are of two types. In the mammals we see two kinds of teeth. This kind of dentition is known as diphyodont dentition, since we are finding two kinds of teeth. In the early childhood we find milk teeth. So after a few years these milk teeth are shed off. They will fall off. That's why they are also called as deciduous teeth. So here I gave the dental formula of milk teeth and permanent teeth. After the falling of milk teeth we will have permanent teeth. There are four kinds of teeth we find in the humans. One is incisors, second is canine, third premolar, and fourth one is molar. Let us see where they are located. So here you are able to see This is the upper jaw and this is the lower jaw. These teeth which are very front are known as incisors. They are of two pairs on each jaw. Okay. Next, the immediate next we find the canine teeth. Here, one pair on each jaw. And next, just beside the canine we find premolar teeth, which are of two pairs on each jaw. They are known as premolar teeth. And at last, behind that we find molar teeth, which are three pairs on each jaw. Incisors are important to cut the food, and canine are important to tear the flesh or tear the food. Premolar and molar are important for grinding. Okay, and canine teeth are highly modified in the carnivorous animals. So because to catch the prey and to tear the flesh, they need very well modified canine teeth. And in the herbivores, which are depending only on the plants for the food, in them some of the herbivores they lack this canine teeth. So since the canine teeth are absent, there will be space formed between incisors and premolar. So the space is called as diastema. I repeat, the space which is found between the incisors and premolar due to the absence of canine teeth in the herbivorous animals is known as diastema. Here it is given, children will have 20 teeth and adult, which is permanent teeth, are 32 in number. Okay, and if we see the half jaw, each half jaw will contain 8 teeth. Okay, each half jaw contains 8 teeth, and each jaw will have 16 teeth. And this is the depiction of the one half jaw. Okay, I hope you understood. Let us go further. Let's see the structure of tooth. In the structure of tooth we find three parts basically. The upper part is called as crown, the middle part is called as neck, and the bottom part is called as root. So in the crown we find again two parts, enamel and dentine. Enamel is the outermost layer of the tooth and it is the hardest substance in the body. And just behind the enamel we find dentine. Dentine is formed by the odontoblast cells. Okay, so dentine forms the bulk of tooth which is secreted by odontoblast. Dentine is mesodermal in origin. Okay, next behind this crown, behind this dentine and enamel we find pulp cavity where we can see nerves, blood vessels and odontoblast cells. So there is a substance called cementum which attaches the root to the jaw alveolus. So this is the jaw alveolus and the teeth are embedded. This is a sac-like structure and in this the teeth are embedded. So this kind of dentation, just now I said, it is called as thecodont dentition, and the attachment is by the cementum. Between the tooth and the alveolus we find this periodental membrane. Okay, let us know further. Tongue is one of the sense organs. It is used for the sense of taste. It is a movable organ and it is muscular in sense. It is also called as universal toothbrush. It helps in the deglutition. Deglutition means process of swallowing the food, and it is also helps in the speaking. and mainly the taste is sensed by the papillae which are present on the surface of the tongue. These papillae are very minute projections and they are of four types: circumvallate papillae, fungiform papillae, foliate papillae, and filiform papillae. Here I am showing, here I am indicating these are the circumvallate papillae which are behind the tongue, and they will taste the bitterness, and these are the uh, foliate papillae which are present here in the yellow color, and they will taste the soreness, and just before that we find the fungiform papillae. They will taste the saltness, and at very edge we find filiform papillae. They will sense the sweetness. So I repeat, there are four kinds of papillae: circumvallate papillae, foliate papillae, fungiform papillae, and filiform papillae: bitter, sour, salt, and sweet. It is asked in the NEET exam also, so I hope you are aware. And so every time when you find any diagram, any drawing, I want you to draw it in your notebook as well. You can pause the video and you can take your own time, you can draw it. Let's go further. Let us learn about the pharynx and esophagus. In the pharynx we find the tonsils. They are one of the lymphoid organs. There is lymphatic system in our body which boosts our immune system. And pharynx can be classified into three types: oropharynx, nasopharynx, and laryngopharynx. The name itself says the location of it. Let's see, oropharynx is just behind the oral cavity here, and nasopharynx is in the behind the nasal cavity, and laryngopharynx at the junction of larynx. So this nasopharynx is connected to the middle ear with the help of a tubular structure, and this is called eustachian tube. So eustachian tube basically connects the nasopharynx to the middle ear. At the laryngopharynx we find epiglottis. It is a cartilaginous flap-like structure. It will prevent the entry of food and water into the windpipe. So it closes the windpipe whenever we swallow the solid and liquid substances. And let us know about the esophagus. Esophagus is a long tubular structure which connects the larynx to the stomach. So whatever food we swallow, it goes into the food pipe which is called the esophagus, and there the food is passed through it and reaches the stomach by the peristaltic movement. That's all for this class. In the next class we study about stomach and the other parts of the digestive system. Thank you, dear students.